It's your boy Trauma, and we back. Watched this Colorado versus Georgia Tech game, and boy, do we got something to talk about. Everybody know I'm a huge Deion Sanders fan. I'm a Shador fan. Uh, I support Prime and what he do, how he does what he do. But we're gonna keep this football, and we're gonna start with the expectations with Colorado and Coach Prime after losing Shador, Travis Hunter, and all them receivers, um, was, trying to see what they would be like, what they would look like this year. You got JuJU, the five-star quarterback. He not starting. They give it to the guy out of Liberty, and he can spin the ball. If you look at him, I mean, you can see the arm talent. You can see the difference between him and Shador last year. You can definitely see that the ball pop. He can make every throw. But there are some things to pause about. We're going to start with the elephant in the room. And I was saying this last year, and hopefully this year I'll be more consistent in videos and this reach Coach Prime. There needs to be a changing of the guard with Pat Shermer calling plays. Let me say it again. There needs to be changing of the guard with Pat Shermer calling plays. And maybe this is why, and Prime is very smart. I'm not suggesting anything of that sort. But I will say, maybe this is why Prime brought in Brian Leftwich. And I'll say this too. I'm not sure Brian Leftwich is the right guy for the quarterback that you have. However, Brian Leftwich is a really, really, really good offensive coordinator and a quarterbacks coach, if nothing else. A great quarterback coach. But Pat Shermer has to stop calling plays. I watched that game, and the sequence of plays, not only were some of the plays stupid, but the sequence of plays made no sense to me. If you watch coordinators, head coaches, people that call offensive plays, they don't just have a sheet of 100 plays, 60 plays, and close their eye and just pick one. You always run a play with the idea of setting the next play up. Pat Shermer doesn't do that. I'm telling you, it'll be 3rd and 3 or 2nd and 1, and Pat Shermer will do some trick play, and it'll be 3rd and 9 now. Or 3rd and 1, he'll do a trick play, and it'll be 4th down and 6. Pat Shermer either needs to go or he don't need to call offensive plays. And I get it. He's Prime's friend. Maybe he can stay on as the coordinator for offense or something. But one, I thought last year, I thought this year. The only thing that has changed is, one, the players, but two, Pat Shermer's doing a lot more pre-snap movement, but because he did none last year. But the plays are exactly the same. It's almost as if he's like, hey, I'm going to do some pre-snap movement so y'all can't say I'm doing the same plays. But the plays don't make no sense. The sequence of plays, one play leading to the next, makes no sense. So with the young talent you have at quarterback, you need to bring in a young, offensive, creative-minded offensive coordinator to call plays. Okay? That's number one. Number two, outside of Jordan Seaton, that center and that guard to the right, or maybe it was a tackle, I don't remember, getting blew up all game. Just blew up. Blew up. So I thought they addressed the O-line, D-line, and I don't think they addressed it enough. One, the O-line is not strong enough, okay? Now, you don't have to be LSU, Alabama, Georgia type O-line. There is lines that work. Oregon line. Who else has a line? Auburn don't always have that. Iowa or North. Like, it's other line that work. So you don't have to be 300, 308, 6'6", but you better be strong. Colorado lacks the size and the strength outside of Seaton on the offensive line. That's number one. Number two, the defensive line. I couldn't tell watching the game. Now, obviously, I could tell based off, where they were. But if you just line them up side by side on one line, I couldn't tell you who a D lineman was outside of Colts or whoever his name is, from the linebackers to the corners. They don't have enough size. Still. So whatever's happening at CU, they're still not getting the meat and potatoes on the offense and defensive line that they have to get in order to compete. Looking at what I saw this year, we knew last year was trash. But what I'm seeing this year, they're still 2 years away, minimum. Because they're not as explosive on offense. They don't have the weapons they had. I mean, they had, think about this. Every receiver on that offensive side went to the pros. Shep, Jimmy, Wester, Travis. Miller is a beast. They got another Miller that's dope. I still don't see the tight ends in the whole scheme of things. So offensive line, not big enough, not strong enough. Just not strong enough. If they were strong and could move, they would be all right. Defensive line is not big enough. Those D linemen look like linebackers. Linebackers look like D linemen. They didn't do what they needed to do to compete for a national title. Period. Number 3, and I'm still, granted, let me see how many yards they had. Caden Salter, 159 passing. Michael Welch, 64 yards on 11 carries, 6 point. Look, that's a good, 5.5, 6 yards a carry. Mario Miller, 39 receiving yards. Let me say this. Colorado running backs looked great. They could run. They could catch out the back. Number 20, I think it was. Nice. Welch, nice. But again, I said it today in my other video, yesterday, with Texas. I see a lot of college offensive coordinators running this pistol and this shotgun. You cannot look at the great running backs that come out of college. Just look at them. Ashton Gentry, Peterson, Ingram. Just the list goes on and on. Ohio State's Elliott, Bama. Look at the running backs that come out, and they come out and you can line them up in I formation and you can run the ball. Colorado still can't line up and run the ball. They was inside the red zone and they threw the ball. You can't get 3 yards. You got Marshall Faulk as your running backs coach. But again, you can have Marshall Faulk as the running back coach. You can have Marshall Faulk the running back. If the O-line ain't holding up, then we got a problem. So what I'm seeing, game 1 against Georgia Tech, is Colorado still don't have an offensive line that can compete for a national title. Colorado still can't stop the run. This has been the same year after year after year. They gave up, 300-something yards. The quarterback had 154. The read option, sometimes he would just go drop back, empty backfield, take off and run. No gap control. The ends were terrible setting the edge. The corners were terrible setting the edge. Terrible. So I think some of the same problems Colorado had, they still have. I just honestly believe they're less talented. Coach Prime said they have an overall better football team. They may have a lot more blue chip players and not the big name, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, I get it. But what I saw was some of the same issues we've been seeing with Colorado and Coach Prime team. Now, granted, you got 20 coaches in there. I think some of that needs to be condensed. I think there's a lot of people that Prime is helping, get in here, get your coaching. I respect that. I salute that. But it doesn't, you have a lot of contrasting people in there, right? A lot of contrasting personalities. So I didn't see from the game. I'm not saying this is what I know. I'm saying I didn't see from the game, for example, Warren Sapp imprint on it. I didn't see Marshall Faulk's impression on the run game. And so I didn't see Byron Leftwich impression on the quarterback passing game or the play calling. So to me, I think Coach Prime, and I saw Pat Shermer in the box yesterday. I think that's where he gonna end up staying. And I think the play calling gonna go to Brian Leftwich. If not this week, next week for sure. Mark my word. But I don't know if that's gonna be the answer either. All right. Georgia Tech had 3 first quarter turnovers. 3. Most teams, if you have 3 in a game, you lose. They had 3 in the first quarter, and Colorado couldn't capitalize on it. Colorado couldn't capitalize making touchdowns or even field goals. They went in, I think it was 7-0. That's all they had on 3 turnovers. And Colorado didn't turn the ball over at all. So there is a disconnect between the coaches and the players. I'm telling you. When you give up 350 plus yards rushing on the ground, that's an ego thing. That's a mentality. That's a mentality. So I saw a lot more dogs out there last year than I see this year. I'm just telling you. I see a lot more dogs. Grit, grimy, punch you in the mouth dogs on both sides of the ball last year than I saw this year. So I still think Colorado got some problems. And I'm a little worried after that first game. Now, this ain't no, you can't say, you know, they won't turn it around. I'm not saying that. You ain't going to get no size. As the season goes on, people lose weight. They get, you know, this is when you come out week 1, you are what you are. They still undersized on the offensive line, not strong enough. They still undersized, don't have enough dog and fight on the defensive line. I'm just saying. And them cornerbacks. Coach Prime is the best cornerback the league has ever seen. And it seems like, to me, outside of the Travis Hunter, he should be DBU when it comes to corners at Colorado. And that's not the case. He got a lot of small corners. They play small. If they ain't small, they play small. The defensive coordinator, Livingston, even they came from, I think, the Bengals last year before. It was some times where, again, this is the first game. You're going to learn your personnel, what works. So I'm not saying this is end-all, be-all. But as many rushing yards as they got ran on them, I would have expected to see a lot more blitzes. And you knew they was coming in doing the read option. You knew that. But I mean to tell you, the ends were atrocious. The ends for Colorado were horrible. Horrible. I'm seeing corners getting turned around, not knowing what nothing is. Just a bad game, man. The score ended up being 27-20. So I don't care what the scores say. I'm telling you what I saw. I stopped watching it third quarter. It just, I wanted to see Coach Prime in Colorado come out a better unit with some dogs and players that was going to piggyback off last year and the expectation. But that just let me know it's still some work to do. I think it's way too many coaches there. When you have that many coaches and you're giving them side little jobs and titles, none of them could really put their impression on the team because it showed. So I don't know what Colorado, what's in store for them this year. I don't see them winning 9 games this year. I don't. Not based off what I saw yesterday. Again, I know prime time will make the changes. You mark my word. He will make changes. So I'll wait until I say week 3, week 4. I'll be able to say, hey, week 3, I'm not even going to go to 4. 4 cheating. I'll go to week 3, and I guarantee you, based off what I see week 3, and that's probably, I'm guessing he's going to give the coaches certain people to that time. But based off what we see by week 3, we'll let you know where the season going. We'll let you know where the season going. To me, Salter, he can make every throw, man. I would like to see him take off and run a little more. He seems a little shorter. Some missed throws that could be jitters and all of that. I mean, even Prime said at like halftime, he said, or right after half, is everybody want to be the man until it's time to be the man. So hey, that was at his quarterback. So you say you want to be the man, be the man. So I'm gonna say this too. Don't be surprised if JuJU get the start week 3, week 4. If Salter don't be that guy, the ball come off his hand nice. He can make every throw. Sometimes he throws off his back foot and boxy, like I just saw Arch Manning do. Again, when you come from Liberty and you the best and you can make all of this, you resort back to that sometime, when things are unsure. So Salter to me looked good, delivering the ball. Again, some high-low throws that could be jitter nerves. But Colorado got bigger problems than just the quarterback, man. A lot more problems. They did not address the O-line and the D-line issue at all. And the cornerbacks, you just would expect with Coach Prime being there that they would just be a lot better. And it's the first week. So I'm going to pause on saying, this is what it is. I believe Coach Prime will make changes. I know that for a fact. I expect them to play better next week. But yeah, Colorado, they got some issues. So that's my take on Colorado. Seem like some of the same struggles. But I got faith in Coach Prime. He'll figure it out. I couldn't understand the timeouts that he held. I don't know what that was about. I don't know if that was not trying to give Georgia Tech the ball back, or hey, when it's a miscue, it's a miscue. I don't care what coach it is. Coach Prime, in my opinion, they muffed that. They muffed that. Taking them timeouts with him, that was silly. So I don't care who it is. I try to call it spade a spade. From what I was watching, taking them 2 timeouts with you made no sense. But hey, it is what it is. It's your boy Trauma. We don't always get it right, but we will always bring that trauma. Until next time, I'm out.